Welcome back. I'm Phionah Mbowa here at Church of Uganda Family TV with Ring Diaries, where we share anything and everything to do with marriage. And before we went for the break, Mr. Tashobya here was telling us how we need to be able to use the 50-30-20 rule. And I hope you've learned what that means. And if you haven't, we're going to continue this conversation. Thank you very much, Mr. Tashobya. And for the viewers out there who could be asking, yes, we've been told about the 50-30-20 rule. But what happens? Because this family has man and woman. When the important thing for my husband to save for right now is for maybe a piece of land to build. And for me, the important thing is to reduce the matoke buying that you've talked about. How are we able to bring these two together into one goal?
And I want to thank you again. I think this is a very interesting aspect. And to the viewers watching me outside there, the assumption is, you see, we have two family setups.
Yeah.
We have where there's a husband working and the wife is not working.
Yes.
We have where there's a wife working
And
and husband is totally not working. So the whole concept is there is a certain income that is coming in consistently in the home. That's why we're encouraging as fathers, from where I'm coming from, that fathers, we must go out and work. That's what I can say. So that said, they are two varying normally, because you are two people in the home.
Yeah.
They are two varying decisions. In most cases, women, after what they are doing is geared towards their children. They look, come on, my children, my children, my children, my children. And it is the right thing. Now for men, they are looking at more investment.
And some men who can invest until the land.
Yes.
It's too much.
And that's, you see, that's what is always there. And you see, we have, we always sing in Father's Union. Amaka ga chitiwa nisayafe. So, the family is something of great importance.
Yeah.
That family is of a great, and we look at you, that the setup of your family should be of significance to the body of Christ. So if it is of significance to the body of Christ, we assume that as a man and a wife, you should be able to listen to each other. And not only listening to each other, you should be able to come to a table and budget together. And what do you budget on? For men, God created you that you have that brain in you, that you should look very far to make sure that your family is stable. So I would implore everyone that as you look very far, I know you're planning ahead. For me, as we discuss this family financial planning, I will say that everyone should first look at the money takers. Let me use that concept. Things that take money first. If you first make sure that you address the problem, then you are able to save. But even if you saved how much,
when you still have this,
and you have these that are taking the money, you are as good as doing nothing.
what are some of the money takers?
As we mentioned, for example, food is something that takes money. Rent is something that takes money. Medication is something that takes money. And we are now talking, when we talk about medication, for example, it varies with age. And you know, I would give you an example. I always tell people that ages after 50, they are ages for a tablet. it looks to be something that someone can laugh about, but it is a reality. That age after 50, some diseases can start coming in, different diseases. And whether you want it or not, you must have money
to buy the medication.
To buy medication. Unless you are going to disturb relatives, you are going to disturb friends, and you are going to go into debts to be able
to
cater for your medication. And if you are not going to go to that direction, you better start now. I say it is never too late for anyone to engage in making sure that you plan well, which we call family financial planning. Start now. And I would encourage very many people, especially if you do not have enough money. The way to go, I would encourage, especially if you have land. Because very many people, and I'm going to tell you, very many people have abandoned villages.
Yeah, and they even sold land to come and raid borders in town.
So many people, they are here, and actually some have land. Most people have land. Have somewhere they can do some agriculture. Okay, you can do poultry farming.
At least, yes.
Some people have, but they have abandoned that for this good environment of town, where everyone is going to see them dressing very well, putting, all that. But for me, I would say those small things that people are not doing are some of the things that would actually save you at times when you need money. For example, people who have some land, maybe if you have about 1 acre, you can start practicing coffee planting. You invest in things that don't need a lot of your time. Coffee, right now. It
can grow whether you're there or not.
It can grow, and you can even put in some other things, like matoke, like what. You do that. Today, it seems not to be important, and indeed it is not. But the days after today, it is going to be very important. So that is part of investment. You may not need to buy land if you have a small land. You only need this small money. And you just start investing. So that is to some people who have plenty of land. Some people have where to plant. Maybe to practice some agriculture somewhere. How much is required to start a small poultry farm? And you see, that's where the problem comes from. Someone wants to start with 10 million.
He wants to start big.
But your income cannot give you 10 million in a year. Don't start big. Even starting with 10, or maybe if they are not 10, maybe starting with 1 goat is also part of starting to practice agriculture. You start with 1 goat, you keep on adding. So for me, I would say that communication in marriage between a man and a wife is very important, as they prioritize these things that are taking away and draining their pocket. As you plan to do an investment, start with these small ones. These small ones are going to give you big monies to do the bigger things. So don't go into the bigger things
when you have
these ones that are off-taking
are still there.
Are still there. So that is what I can say.
Okay.
Yes.
So we need to come together.
Yes.
And set our priorities together.
Yes.
And move as one.
Yes. Especially if we talk about a Christ-centered family. I would encourage everyone to start doing small things. Which small things can grow into the bigger things. And also, it's very important to plan for your age.
Retirement.
Not actually even necessarily retirement.
But the age I am at now.
The age you are in right now. And I'm going to break down the age that I'm talking about. This is a small model that I made.
Okay.
Between the years You know, some people marry at their 20s.
Yes.
Some people marry. Some people marry at 30s. Some people marry at 40s.
40.
So I always say between the age of 1 to 24 years is the age of school.
Okay.
Going to school. Those levels, primary, secondary, higher levels, all that. If you did not get an opportunity to go to school, this is the time for you to establish yourself in different areas. Maybe you took the direction of technical. If you did not take the direction of technical, maybe you have been practicing small businesses.
Yes.
So by 24, the assumption is that you have understood all the technicalities in either if you took the direction of business, if you took the direction of schooling. At 24, once done, it doesn't mean that someone with 30 years cannot go to school. It doesn't mean that someone with 30 years cannot go into business direction, cannot run. For me, I'm saying if you want to be on time.
Yes.
Now, for those who have already surpassed, I will get there. For those who are still down, now that is what I'm talking about. Then between the year 24 to 27, those are how many years?
3.
3. And now it splits. I'm talking about boys and girls. I am encouraging people these days that if you are a boy, your goal should be to secure an asset.
First thing.
When we talk about financial planning at family level, so I want the parents now to start telling their boy,
To save.
child, after school, get a small, that small job that you have, or that small business that you have, invest in a small asset. Even if it is for 500,000,
Yes.
it's an asset.
Yes.
That small land, that's why I said there is land there. So invest there. For a girl, I have changed this model. And this is what I'm telling people for me.
Okay.
And I tell people your goal should be to get married.
Really?
Yes. For me, that's what I tell people.
Okay.
Your goal as a girl after studying,
Is to get married.
your goal should be to get married.
Not to make money and add to the man.
You get? So that's how it varies. For your boy, you go and start first investor by 28. For you, but by 28 as a girl, your goal should make sure that you get. And what does it call for? It doesn't mean that if you are 40 years, 50 years, you cannot get married. It also does not mean that if you are between 28 years and above, you cannot invest. I've had very many people. But you will be late and you will not be able to do some of the things.
Time
Now-
will have passed.
Now I am going to add there. Between the years of 28 to 35, that is for the side of,
The man.
for a man. 28 to 35 is broken down in 2 parts. The first part is between 28 to 32 years. Make sure you marry.
Brinko, you've had 28. They should
So,
marry.
so if you are in between 28 to 30 and you are not yet married, you are slightly late. But it doesn't mean
But at 40, you
at
can't
50,
marry.
we have seen people marrying at 50, at 60. But you will be late for some of the things that you should
That
have done.
is, yes.
Now for you, God, your goal already between 24 to 28 was to make sure that
Get
you
married.
get a husband and get married.
Married.
Now after there, to 32, make sure you improve yourself.
So I first get married, then improve myself.
Yes,
Why not improve myself and get married?
this is what I am telling everyone. It looks better, and everyone can do it by now. But from my own perspective, most times, some of the challenges, for example, you find girls are taking long time to get married and they are struggling to get husbands, has been the reason because they did not do first things first. That's where the challenges are coming from. So it doesn't mean that you cannot get married at 50.
You can.
But you may struggle.
And miss out on a few things.
So for you to follow the trend, it is better. For me, that's what I advise. But any other person can say, no, for me, I want to go for 50. For you, a man, you have secured a small property of 500,000, of 1 million, regardless of where it is. That asset is not going to help you today.
It's for later.
It's for later. When I mention an asset, don't run to construct a house. To make sure that you
secure the land.
No. We have seen people, I married, wedded officially, my wife, when I was renting. Not actually renting. I married my wife when I was at university. In second year, first semester. Okay, someone may not follow my trend. Because for me, by then, I was working. I started working during my vacation. And I had accumulated enough resources
to actually wed.
To actually marry official and wed. Some other people may not achieve that. That's why I'm saying after 24, when you're done with school, your goal should now be, because these days children are studying early enough.
Very young.
So now in financial planning, it is one of the aspects that the parents must tell their children as they grow, so that they don't encounter other challenges. Now that is on the side of when they have reached 32 years each. For a boy at 35, because the life expectancy of Africans is assumed to be 70 years.
Now,
what you have not achieved at half of your age, it is always very hard to achieve it after. Because very many responsibilities start coming. So, but it doesn't mean that someone who is now at 50,
cannot,
60, cannot. You will, but you will be there.
Struggle a bit.
You may struggle. And remember what I mentioned? That at 50, for me, I start calling, and I tell people wherever you go. And the viewers, I would like to tell you that at 50, I call that age the age of a tablet for medication.
Like a medication you must be taking.
It starts coming in. It may not come at 50 by the way. It will come at 60. But at the end of the day, it will come. And it will cause you to start taking it daily. So if you have not done these first steps at the beginning, it means you will not be able to, pay for those services that you need when that time comes. So for me, I encourage the viewers that it is better if they plan at the start. And as a Christ-centered, family setup, it would be very better that a man and a wife sit together to plan for their finances. Go ahead to advise their children on the same. So that is what I can say regarding the ages. But again, there are some people who have saved for their money. If you are earning a small salary, you're contributing to your NSSF, retirement benefit. But if you're in government, maybe there's gratuity. Or pension or what. But again, there are some people who have saved their small money, from these daily dealings they have. And that money comes at once.
It's a lump sum.
For example, now, I think at NSSF level, they receive their first portion of their payment.
At 45.
I think at 45.
20%.
At that level, very many people are excited. Whereas I have not done thorough research about it. But I am very certain that very many people spend that money within a year.
Yes, it's actually tested.
And it is no more.
It's no more.
Which is very dangerous. Okay, you may spend it in 1 year. But if you have planned very well. So that means if you have not had plans, steps at the beginning of you starting your small investments, especially in line with these things that drain your pocket that I mentioned about. I am already mentioning about the matoke because here we eat a lot of matoke in Uganda.
Yes.
If you don't deal with the matoke, actually matoke is the biggest thing that is draining your pocket. That rice that is the biggest thing that is draining your pocket every day. Because you eat it every day.
And you must eat.
And you must eat.
Whether sick or what.
Whether you are sick, you must eat it. If you do not put mechanisms to make sure that that matoke is coming out of your own plantation, then it is a very big challenge. So you must make sure that you put mechanisms. If at all you fail to go into that line, I would encourage you to start a small business that is going to replenish that money that you have spent. If I bought my matoke at 35,000 today, am I going to earn it from somewhere? If you know you are going to earn it from somewhere and replenish,
Then
that
that's
is
okay.
better. But if you know you are in a scenario where you do not have a small business that is going to put back what you have spent on, I would encourage you to go the direction of planting your own banana plantation that is going to replenish what you have spent on. The ideal thing is to make sure that your money is not all spent in these other things that I think you can try to put in place some small mechanisms to replenish. So the business is a good idea for everyone. Make sure you try to invest. And there is no enough money, by the way, if it comes to starting up a business.
That's true.
There is no enough money. All money is enough. For example, if you earn up to 100,000, you can start a business of 100,000. Did you know that there's a business of 100,000?
Like which one?
For example, how much is needed to start a chapati business? You only need a cook stove, maybe a frying pan, maybe some charcoal to begin with, and flour. And you start that. At your setup, you speak to someone, maybe, okay, I will be giving you 2,000 every day, every time I work from here. So with your 100,000,
you're making 2,000 daily.
you're able to make 2,000 every day. That's the assumption. But there are some other businesses. I've seen some women selling avocado.
Avocado, bananas.
How much capital do you need to start selling avocado?
Okay.
I'm one of the people, by the way, that love avocado. Every time I eat avocado, I feel happy. So how much is needed to do that business? Because in a village, you will get 5 pieces.
Falling down even.
Okay, but if you are to buy 5 pieces, they may sell them to you at 1,000. But did you know that 1 piece here in Kampala?
It's more than 1,000.
It's more than 1,000? I buy it at 2,000.
Yes.
So that means you need 100,000 to buy certain number of sacks to start
the business.
the business. Alternatively, you may not buy the sacks, but you can just try to buy from the wholesalers.
So you mean us putting in so much energy in finding business should be 5 million, we're actually not looking at the things that are close to us?
There is one person who sells avocado that I was speaking to. And this person told me that every day they earn 10,000 shillings
As income.
as an income. And guess what? This person starts displaying the avocados in the evening during the peak hours when people are going back. Not morning. So works between 5 to 9 and earns
an extra in the evening.
10,000. So 10,000 times 30 days. That is 300,000.
Wow.
So if you're earning 300,000, it's a lot of money. It's better than nothing. But guess what? The income that person puts in on daily does not exceed 20,000. Ideally, this person earns 50% of the total investment that they have put in. So I wouldn't wish them to look at a lot of money, especially at family setup. Whatever a family has can be used to do any business if you cannot go into the side of agriculture.
Wow. We're going to come to a close of this, but I want someone out there to understand this whole thing of it doesn't need a lot of money to make money, especially at family level.
You see, it has been it's indeed a big challenge, not only in Africa, but globally.
Okay.
Decisions to invest are always challenging. Most people, most families want to be like so and so. And that's where the problem comes from. All that you have is enough.
Whatever you have.
We are gifted differently. And this is what I tell people. Each one has a certain talent, gift in him. So I have my own gift. You have your own gift. In that gift that you have, you can even decide to work through that gift. And use that small thing that you have. Some people, I have seen them, they start a small business. It boosts very fast. That means for them, they can do a business of. Me, I can do consultancy. That's my area of doing things. So some people can do, I've seen people doing MCing at different functions. That's it's a business, by the way. I've seen people singing.
And they get money out of it.
So me, I'm talking about the affordability, using what you have.
Yes.
There are some people actually pushing themselves to businesses
They can't handle it.
that they cannot handle, which are not their gifts. Someone is forcing himself into singing, but actually, that is not your area.
Singing, yes.
You get? And you are investing. So whatever you have can be invested. But I would ask and encourage all the viewers that you pray for the spirit of discernment.
To know where to belong.
To know where, and you pray to God to reveal to you that gift in you that you can work through. So if you can work through that, you will be able to be successful in any business that you want to invest in.
Well, this is very heavy stuff. And I hope our viewers have been able to pick something. And thank you very much, Mr. Tashobya, for the and I like the fact that you've broken it down a bit simpler, that everyone can understand. I hope our viewers have been able to understand and appreciate the simplicity. Let us not leave the investing for the people with a lot of money. As he has said, start from the things that you have that are taking away money. That's where the investment opportunity lies. And see how you stop doing that in the near future and start getting from your garden or for something else. Thank you very much, Mr. Tashobya, for your time. And for our viewers, thank you so much for being with us to the very end. I hope you picked something, and I hope you're going to go make money and invest in the kingdom of God. We cannot bless people if we don't have what to bless them with. So thank you very much. I'm Phionah Mbowa here at Church of Uganda Family TV with Ring Diaries.